Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to Needles at the Ready. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Ray.
Today is Saturday, April 1st.
April Fools.
April Fools.
Hey, we didn't do any jokes.
We didn't. So, this is episode 83. This is our YouTube channel where we talk about knitting, crocheting, yarn dyeing, yarn buying, and all that good stuff. So welcome. If you're a new viewer, welcome. If you're an OG, welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
A lot of welcomes there.
I know.
So,
thanks for joining
welcome.
us today. Hope you guys are doing well. We have a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we do. It's a pretty gloomy day here in Stratford, Connecticut.
It is.
It's rainy. It's like 50, which isn't bad. 54, but it doesn't feel like 54.
No, it's dreary. It's a dreary day.
Yeah.
It's gray.
It's gray.
It's a good day to stay inside and knit.
And we're going to
have
make
soup.
We got our hair cut today, and our hairdresser was like, well, it's a perfect day for soup. We're like, yes, it is.
Yep, so now we're going to make soup for
Now
dinner.
we're going to make some soup with some Italian sausage. We don't have white beans, though, huh?
I don't know,
spinach.
actually. We have, I don't know. I'll have to check, see what we have in the pantry.
Yeah. Maybe
Figure
some
it out.
potatoes. We can make a little, like, zuppa toscana or something.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
We'll make some zuppa toscana.
No, because you don't cook.
Yeah, but Google does.
So,
Dr. Google can help us. So, hello.
so what's going on? What are we here for?
I'm here for the knitting. I'm here for the yarn. I'm here for the company. And, yeah, what are you here for?
I don't know. I just show up.
Great. What are you all here for?
All right, so what do we have going on?
All right, so we have a few things happening. Number one, we can get our giveaway out of the way.
Yeah.
So, we gave away, or we're giving away, we've chosen our winners. Corey Eichelberger.
Who just got a new dog.
Yeah,
Super
adorable.
cute.
From iRock Knits was so generous and sent us 3 copies of her Knit Words books. We showed this last time. That's where this pillow came from.
Yes, thank you, Corey.
Thank you, Corey. It's going to live there forever. It may move a couple of cubes depending on how big our, what's that called? Felting friends become. And we chose 3 winners. So the prompt was that you needed to use the word or the name Corey. And we chose 3 people just today. Here they are. Number 1 is Carrie Marman. Says, love catching up and every episode. Love the pillow Corey made. So cute. So if that is you, please contact us via email and we'll go ahead and get this out to you. Include your real name and your mailing address and we'll get that out. The second one is Leslie Carnes. Karnes. And the third is Linda Simpson Designs.
Yay.
Yay.
Congratulations to all the winners.
Congratulations.
Thanks for participating.
Totally.
It's fun doing giveaways.
Yeah. And this is our free form for today's episode.
That's all the stuff we have to talk about.
All we have to talk about. So it'll be a short one.
I don't know why.
So yeah, honestly, congratulations. We really love doing these giveaways. It's been a lot of fun for us to be able to share a lot of these things. We don't have one today. But but that's okay. We have a knit along happening.
We do. It's our Spring Cleaning Mal 2023.
Yeah.
Idea of this is just to get our whips off the needles. So we have a FO and a chatter thread. We do not have a hashtag. And
I actually want to check.
that runs until the end of May. And
It's the end of the world as we know it.
it is.
What am I doing?
Actually. So yeah, just clean up your whips. Get them off your needles. Post in both threads. And then we will pull prizes or winners from both threads at the end of May.
Oh, we've got a lot of entries already. I haven't had a chance to look at this. So we have 130 chatterers and 63 finished objects already.
Oh, wow. You guys go.
Wow, that's
Fast.
fantastic.
I wish I put lotion on.
Me too. I didn't do that, though.
Oh, I have some.
You did? Hey, look. Here's our first one. The Cable Hat by Dora Stephenson. Good job. Oh, we have more? Oh, good. We are empty. Oh, there's some socks in here. A cardi. Speaking of cardigans, did you guys see the new... I was going to say the new Harry Potter cardigan? No. The new Stephen West.
I actually
he is pretty much like a wizard.
I actually just looked at it. It's quite long. It's probably not something I personally would wear because of the length of it.
Yeah. No, I probably wouldn't either. And it looks like it pulls a little bit here. But speaking of Stephen West, we were actually just talking about so we have a trip coming up, which we're both so ready for and so excited for.
We're going on our first vacation. Mm-hmm. Like real vacation where we didn't have something to do attached to it.
Yeah.
In like 20 years. We're doing that next week, right? Well, not this upcoming week, the following week. We're going away from the 12th through the 4 days later. We'll be back that Saturday.
Margaritaville, New York? Margaritaville?
No. Margaretville,
up in the Catskill Mountains.
Yeah, we got a cabin type of thing with 2 of our friends on top of a mountain. It's got a couple fire pits and a hot tub. So we're just going to go hang out. And
we actually have to get some bathing suits
for the hot tub, yeah. And the weather's not looking fantastic, so I don't know what we're going to do, like, outside-wise.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be great, but we'll see.
And you said you were already kind of looking to see if there was a yarn shop up that way?
Yeah, I feel like I found something, like a store that carries yarn.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is what we would consider like a local yarn store, if that's all it carries. Yeah. It may be more like a mom and pop craft store.
Okay.
Is what I'm wondering. So yeah, we'll check it out. If not, we'll see. I was thinking we're going to actually be going through Rhinebeck and Kingston. So we're going to be going northwest of there.
Yeah.
So we'll be driving through them. I think that's what the route took us.
Yeah.
So maybe if we don't find anything there, we can hit up one of the stores that we know of in that area that we've never been able to visit.
Yeah, I think that's great. And if you know of anything in that area, please let us know.
Let us know.
Yeah. So anyway, the reason why I brought that up, not just to share, but we were kind of planning already what we're going to bring with us for knitting. And I said, I might do the basket weave hat by Stephen West. And this is, this person did it and finished it. It's in our FOs.
It's cute. You're going to have to find a tonal. Maybe one of the ones I dyed you could take.
Great. That would be epic.
All right. What else? So what have we done over 2 weeks? I gave my notice at work.
Yep.
So that went well.
Funny story. You gave your notice to the public, pretty much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So I talked about it during our live that we did with
our
Tube Dudes. Live.
Good job.
That we did 2 weeks ago. So I talked about it, and there was one of the managers from my job was in the chat, and I didn't realize it. So if she's watching this, hi Crystal, and she had made a comment on it, so it kind of threw me off during it. But then I was off for the week after that. I had a week of vacation, and then I went back this past Monday, and she's like, "I hope I didn't scare you." I was like, "No, it just kind of threw me off. I didn't expect anybody from work to actually be in there." So I gave my notice. I had a week off of work. I went to pick up every stitch last Friday with Kim and Kate over at the Knitting Posse. And we stopped for lunch at a place called The Kitchen, someplace in New York. And I made some purchases. And we ran into Jonna and her, from Knit Together with Kim and Jonna, and her dog Teddy, who is adorable. He just got done at the groomer. So it was a really nice day. It was really nice. It's so great that we have so many yarn stores that are close to us. Like, it's an hour and a half drive for us to get there.
But you made a whole day of it, go out to lunch and...
we have 3 stores within 20 minutes of us, and then a bunch of other stores within an hour and a half. So we're really, really fortunate with that. So it was a very nice day. Love spending time with them. I
know, I was jealous. I definitely had a lot of FOMO.
When I came home, when he got home from work that night, he was like, "Tell me everything." And so Ray likes a play-by-play type of story, and
that's how I tell my stories.
Yeah, you do.
So I took 3 breaths, and then I started speaking.
Yes, that's kind of how you tell a story, and I'm a little more straight to the point.
Yeah,
and hit all the high notes.
Well, I mean, you hit 3 notes, and I'm like, you spent like 5 hours together. What else happened? We
drove, went to lunch, went to pick up everything.
What was everybody wearing? Did you run into anybody?
Ooh.
What'd you have for lunch? Was it good?
It was delicious. I had a grilled cheese.
See?
With bacon and cheddar.
That sounds great. See, I'm sure other people want to hear these things too.
So that was my 2 weeks.
Good. My 2 weeks have just been just the norm. Work has been busy, and school started back up again this semester. This semester, I'm taking financial analysis for those that you don't know. I'm working on my MBA, a Master's in Business Administration, and numbers and finances are really difficult for me, just because I get sidetracked by seeing a bunch of numbers. I could do it in small amounts. Anyway, I was all set. Week 1 was last week, and I spent, I don't know, like an hour a day or something like that, like getting stuff together. And I was really, really happy with the way I put together the information. I had some like charts and graphs and bullet points and all these things. I thought was like really professionally done. And then our assignments are due on Sundays. So then Sunday morning, I went to go submit it. Or maybe it was Saturday. It might have been Saturday. I went to go submit it. And I go into where you need to submit it, and I see that there's already an assignment submitted. And I'm looking at it, it's got my name on it along with 3 other people's names on it. I'm like, what the hell? Well, apparently there's group work. Each week they assign us groups. And I thought they were just assigning us groups just for, support, especially for that first week. I knew after that we would have to do some group stuff. And so I completely misread the syllabus and misread the assignment. And I was so embarrassed because the other 3 members of the group had already met on like Zoom. They've collaborated. They had shared documents. There was stuff in like, a message board and all of these things and emails going back and forth. I'm like, why did I not see all of this? So I was completely embarrassed. My heart was in my shoes. I was like, this class is not for me. I can't do this. It's too much. I get very anxious and overwhelmed. And then I kind of took a deep breath. I apologized profusely. I sent them all a message saying how embarrassed I was. I'm so sorry. So anyway, like I did post my work just for them to see that I actually like was doing something. I'm not just like holding on to the coattails of other people. And so they submitted this, the assignment was submitted. I couldn't even look at it. I was just like so uncomfortable. But I've since added the email, like my school email, to my iPhone, so now I can stay on top of things, which is great. But we got an 87. They got an 87. I don't know what I would have gotten. I know that's big picture, that's not a bad grade, but for me that's a bad grade. So this time around, me and my group have already been texting each other back and forth. We did a Zoom meetup. We're doing another one tomorrow to finalize our assignment. We all have work, and so now I'm back on track.
Good.
But I was so embarrassed.
As one should be. No.
You know what? So I was kind of figuring out, we were trying to like play out in our heads because of the group projects and stuff now that there is a group component. I don't know how going away is going to work. So I'll just, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, we got to figure that out now.
Yeah.
So I think
that's pretty much been my 2 weeks. I did put it on the freeform stuff. Did we miss anything?
I don't know. We did.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? Somebody had asked a while ago. Did you talk about how you like, what's going on with YouTube TV? So somebody, a few of you had actually commented, we cut the cord, the cable cord, and we've been using YouTube TV for a little while. You use it a lot more for basketball and stuff. Do you want to talk about?
Yeah. So we cut the cord. We have YouTube TV now. And it's fantastic. The picture quality, I will say, if you have good internet, the picture quality is amazing. We have the basic package, which just went up in price to, I think, $75 a month. And then you can get 4K for an additional, they dropped the price of that to $10 a month. So it's like $85 a month. You pretty much get the majority of the channels that you would with like a cable service. Mm-hmm. And really the quality has been fantastic. I'm so happy with it. Like watching basketball games, it's better quality than we used to get with our cable provider.
There was one like where they did like an interview with one of the players or whatever, and I could not believe the quality. Yeah. I was like, this is incredible.
So if you are looking to cut the cord, that's a really good option, especially if you're a sports person. I think there's a lot of channels for sports on there, so that might be beneficial for you. So
Good.
And that. Oh, and then the last thing we've been working on is we're working on moving the shop off of Etsy and creating a regular website. So it is there if you went to it, needlesattheready.com. It just has a place for you to put in your email address so you can get like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a notification. There you go. Thank you. So I don't know. Hopefully it'll be up I'm hoping by the end of April. But that's been really cool to work on.
You did a really good job. I've seen some behind the scenes. Like yesterday, I think you.
I did it yesterday. I worked on it yesterday. And it's looking pretty good. It's kind of working the way that I want. I'll add some more stuff to it. But
I'm really proud of you. I'm really, really happy for you.
So we'll be moving there.
Yeah.
And then so before we get into knitting, down below in the description you will find all of the show notes for everything we talk about today, as well as some coupon codes. And those coupon codes come from. We have one from Knit Swag. This is a
from Knit Swag
sweatshirt
as well.
We have one for like Trilogy Yarns, Naughty Knitting Sacks, Scrappy Angel, Lila Styles, and a bunch of others. So go check them out. We hear from them periodically, and they thank us because they get to see who's using these codes. So we just love providing that to you guys. So we appreciate you guys using those too. So do those makers. So I think that's it. And now we'll talk about some knitting.
16 minutes in.
I have one FO and like 4 or 5 whips.
I have I have 6 FOs total. What? They're not all that. But I'm really proud of them. I'm really excited about them.
Yeah, and so I think today we're going to have to like mix in our Breaking the Bank with our works because a lot of it's kind of being used and stuff. So why don't you go through yours first, because my FO will go into my whip and Breaking the Bank.
Sounds lovely. So my first FO is the Hatch Hat by Brooklyn Tweed. I think it's
Emily Green.
And I think I was almost done when I showed this last time. I absolutely love this. Thanks. I was going to show that in a second. I did so it's there are 2 different hats that you can make. You can make a watch cap or a beanie. And so I made the beanie. The watch cap just kind of sits above the ears. And then the beanie is the double layered brim here. It's such an easy pattern. The decreases were a little bit, I have to say, they were a little bit not complicated, but there was more involved with the decreases than just like, knit 2 together or whatever. It was very, very thoughtful the way that the decreases were.
Yeah, to keep the pattern.
And I think it did it like, obviously it's like magic. Like you can see it's very even the way that the decreases were written. The yarn I used was Kelborn Woolens Scout, which is 100% wool. It's DK, 274 yards or 250 meters per 100 grams. The color is some sort of beautiful like heather or some blue. Oh, teal heather. This is the information on the ball band. So it's teal heather, and this is Scout. I didn't use much, to be honest. I still have probably about 50 grams left over.
Oh, wow.
Somewhere around there. Actually, it was 42.
Okay.
So I didn't weigh the skein beforehand. Sometimes they're like 108, 105 grams. But I'm not sure what Kelborn Woolens was. So I didn't want to... I think like mitts or something would be really cool in this. But I absolutely love the color. The yarn feels fantastic.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel so nice?
I was going to say, what's really interesting with this is how different it feels compared to Brooklyn Tweed Arbor.
Oh, yeah.
Because Arbor's spun, it's a 3 or 4 ply.
But it's tightly spun, isn't it?
And it's a very round, tightly spun yarn. And this looks like probably a...
I think it's a 2-ply.
Yeah, it
doesn't
2-ply.
Say.
And it's loosely spun.
Yeah.
So it has a completely different feel and structure than Brooklyn Tweed Arbor, which is really nice to see.
Yeah.
I still think it has really good definition on the ribbing.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it looks really cool. it is like the best fitting hat I feel like
It's
I've ever
such
worn.
a good hat.
Because of the ribbing in it.
Yeah.
And this yarn, I can't say enough about this yarn. I honestly, this would make a beautiful, cozy sweater.
I wonder if I should make a watch cap style. Because I do.
That's interesting.
I love this. I know I say it all the time. It's one of my favorite hats.
Yeah. So this is my first time knitting the hat. You've knit 4, maybe?
2.
Oh,
no,
really?
I've only knit 2. I've knit more. My most knit hat is
the
Lyle
cap.
I've probably knit 4 or 5 of those.
You're right. So I highly recommend this pattern. Super easy if you got some DK yarn lying around, and it knit up pretty fast. Even with the ribbing, like you think, oh gosh, I don't want to do like 1x1 ribbing or like whatever.
It's so easy.
Yeah, it really goes by, I thought, pretty fast, and it helps having a really nice yarn to work with to make things go by faster. It's so
show enough.
Show enough.
What?
Nothing. I kind of want to watch that movie.
Me too.
Even though it's so.
We own it. I bought it. I love it.
You did?
Yes, I love that movie.
I can't remember the name of it. Dragon.
Isn't that Leroy?
Leroy? Yeah.
Leroy Jenkins?
No, Leroy Jenkins is from the WoW thing.
No, but I think it's from that movie.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, I kind of want to watch that now.
Is it The Last Dragon?
The Last Dragon. Yes, it is. Yeah. Oh, I wanted to be him so bad.
Yeah, The Last Dragon.
Yeah. It was everything I
and
wanted.
his name is Leroy Green.
Yeah. I think Leroy Jenkins is something different.
I feel like it came
was
from
a World
a
of
movie.
Warcraft thing.
It is a World of Warcraft thing, but I feel like it picked up from like something.
Maybe.
So
that's Hatch.
Okay.
That's my FO number 1.
Okay.
FO number 2. FOs number 2 are all related. Should I show this or should I just take it out of it and then we can show it during?
No, show it because that's why I was going to go.
I know, me too. I thought it was really funny.
I was going to go next, and that's why, because I have this. So
okay. So these FOs are living in our newly acquired
our break in the bank
purchase
from our friends over at Fiber Hustle.
Our chip baskets. So they are finally available for the masses, though I think that they're all sold out as of right now.
They are. I checked their site.
Okay. So please go over to fiberhustle.com, put in your email address, follow it, because these do not last long.
No.
And wait till you see the yarn too.
Yeah, we'll show that at the end, but yeah, we're both using these baskets already.
Yes. So we can talk a little bit more about the baskets, I guess, but they're really cool because they have a snap that's like that'll open up, and it can sit on your on the side. You can put whatever you want in it. Chip actually had the vision that people might use these bags as little homes for other things, like other bags. You can kind of collect all your little project bags in one place, or things that you want to carry around the house,
I'm wondering if I'm going to put notions.
That's a great size for that.
Like
all the little bags and things that you have. That's a really good idea.
I thought about getting the Delemhach Makers case, the train case, I think is what it's called, but they don't have it in the color that matches my other Delemhach items, and I kind of don't like that. So this could be another option for me, actually. Maybe. We'll see.
For those of you who do watch Fiber Hustle and you do know Chip's just how cute.
And these are the Chipettes.
Right. We got those as a gift at Rhinebeck. So he had different fabrics that was for sale. This is the teal one that I got.
You got the medium.
And this is the medium size.
No, I got the medium.
No, this is the large size.
Yeah, and then
Yes. Anyway, so if you watch Fiber Hustle, you will know that today, April 1st, marks the end of Dishcloth Revolution.
It does.
And Aaron did it last year. It was really a lot of fun. Chip is not the biggest fan of dishcloths.
Nope.
So so of course our dishcloths have to live in our chip baskets.
Absolutely.
Just for poops and laughs. And today is the end of Dishcloth Revolution. So I was able to get 5 dishcloths done. So that's my contribution to Dishcloth Revolution. And so I'm counting those as 5 individual...
Well, yeah, they're finished.
Finished objects. And what is really cool was that I'm not going to show it. We'll show that in acquisitions. Was that I wanted to try a new craft. Our friend Jeff, who pretty much enables us
quite a bit,
quite often.
Yeah,
he's the one that started the whole Delemhach thing for us, and I think we might have to stop being friends with him. But for his dishcloth, he was talking about wanting to do Tunisian crochet, and I had never done Tunisian crochet before, so I was like, "What the hell? Let's give it a try."
Yeah, and
it's just a dishcloth. Well, I had so much fun. I did 5 of them. So this is my first one, and this is Tunisian crochet. This is it's from Craft. JustCrafty.com. It's free. It's a Tunisian simple stitch. Oh, sorry, the light. Tunisian simple stitch dishcloth. What I liked about this pattern is that there were videos embedded. It's one of those websites that you kind of have to scroll through to get to the pattern and stuff. There's a lot of advertisements and whatnot, but there's some really good videos embedded there that kind of show you how to do, simple Tunisian crochet, the simple stitch, the pattern, and then a couple of advanced stitches as well. So this was my first one. I found this skein of yarn in our stash, and it is Pima cotton by Lion Brand. It's actually like one of the softest cottons I've ever felt.
Yeah, Pima cotton is typically, I think, one of the softest cottons.
And the colorway is Rain Cloud. It's a nice solid. Yeah, it's kind of like
it's a purpley gray. It's like a gray lavender.
Lavenderish, yeah. So this one turned out really large because my gauge, and as I was learning, you're supposed to cast on like 30 stitches. I've since adjusted my pattern or my stitch count, but this is what it is.
Very nice.
So this is the Tunisian simple stitch crochet. I actually like that stitch.
Yeah, it's
really kind of neat. So you can see it's not that large.
No, I mean it's larger than what we would.
It's like a large washcloth. I had some issues along the edges, so I put a border, single crochet border all along it, which isn't part of the pattern. I was trying to figure out how best to do the corners, and I found, as I go on, if you're interested, I found that just 3 single crochets in the border would be fine. But on this one, I did a single crochet, chain 2, and then another single crochet. And I found that was just too much. It kind of bunched it up together when you had the chain 2 there. So you can kind of see like it pulls it in. Anyway, it's a dishcloth or it's a washcloth, but I'm really excited about it. I think it's so cool. It kind of looks like chainmail a little bit.
Yeah, it has a very interesting look to it depending on the direction. Like this looks like, from this direction, it looks like a knit stitch where you slipped your stitch in the front of it. But yeah, it makes this made a very light fabric, because sometimes I think for crochet it can be very dense.
Yeah.
And with Tunisian crochet and the little amount of research we both did, Tunisian crochet is denser denser, so typically they recommend going up a crochet hook size. But yeah, this makes a really lovely fabric.
Yeah, and so the crochet hook that I used, the size that I used was an H8, which is a 5mm
nice
hook. And we'll talk about these in a sec, because this was a break in the bank. And I used that for all 5 of the dishcloths. So that was the first one. So I did that, and I was like, that's really cool. And then I said, I heard that, people say that sometimes Tunisian crochet can make like a knit stitch, or make it look like it's like traditional knitting. So in that same, on that same webpage, she includes the Tunisian knit stitch tutorial there too. So all I did was I cast on 4 less stitches. So I cast on 26 stitches instead, because I felt that this was a little bit too big. And instead of doing the simple stitch, I ended up doing the crochet or the Tunisian knit stitch. And so this is what I got. So it does look like knitting.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? It's a cool like swatch, I think. It also is a drapey fabric, but it's definitely denser than the simple stitch there. So it tends to curl, and I've read that that's a thing with Tunisian crochet, is that the edges can kind of curl a little bit. So again, I put a single crochet border all along it, and it did help. I haven't wet these at all yet, but it's going to be like not living in our shower, but it's going to be used in the shower and stuff. So yeah, so that's that. I liked that.
And these worked up really quick for you too.
Yeah, they were quick.
Because you did all of these last weekend.
Do you feel this is definitely thicker?
Oh yeah.
Right? It almost feels like a luxurious that would make a nice towel, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely you know why? I feel like there's not as much space between
so when
the
you're
stitches.
going into the stitches,
there's more space this way and not this way.
You're going through more of the fabric when pulling up the loop, so it's going to be a little bit more denser. With this one, you just go into that front loop, so it's kind of like, it's almost like when you knit into the, where you pull up a loop or something like that on just that one stitch.
This one's very airy and drapey. Mm-hmm. This one's actually quite has some. It's not
strength
as stiff
to it. Yeah,
it's not as stiff as I feel
like
normal crochet is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're both really good.
Yeah. So then those I did first.
Yes.
And I did those before we joined the cast-on party for the Dishcloth Revolution on Zoom with Aaron and some friends. And this is what I worked on during that. So this is going to be hard to see, and I'm sorry if...
This one is trippy.
Yeah, I'm sorry if you have your bathroom.
Yeah, the bathroom at...
That's what I was thinking of,
at
home.
Yeah, when I lived at home.
I know. So anyway, this is using Dishy Twist worsted. We had some of this. It's all like...
We have a bunch of it.
We do.
And I love Dishy Twist. It's one of my favorite kinds.
Mine too. So this is Dishy Twist. It's worsted, and the colorway is black. So it's a marled yarn. So I have to warn you,
it's so trippy.
If you get dizzy with like very, very high contrast, I don't know what to tell you. Don't yell at me. Don't at me, yo. Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
So this is the one that I can't really see what I'm doing, but
I can't either. That's actually really hard. I don't know. I think it goes that way.
I mean, you really can't.
You can't tell.
You can't tell. So this, I did the simple stitch Tunisian crochet again on this one, but using the 26 stitch count. And obviously the Pima cotton,
it may be thicker.
It's definitely thicker, which, and it's like a lot drapier. I think my tension changed a little bit as I got more and more comfortable with the stitches. It's really difficult to see.
Yeah, you can't.
Up close is really neat though. Like it looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of see it there. I think it looks like chainmail. So I did that one, and then I wanted to try the knit stitch one again, and so I did. But again, you really can't.
You can't really see it, but that's actually a really nice pattern with that yarn.
Yeah. I thought it might look pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I did that, and again on both of these, I did the single crochet border, just because it's a little bit sloppy until I get comfortable. I think with Tunisian crochet, the edges can sometimes leave some really long stitches along the edges, or like those chains or whatever. So yeah, so that's that. And then my favorite one, I did. Oh, and this is how the Dishy Twist comes. Like this. This is really trippy. If you like move it, like ooh. And then this one.
What does that remind you of? Ooh. Beetlejuice. Right.
Oh. Right. And then they all like what? Okay. And then then I want to try. I went back to solid because I get hurt my eyes. And this is called creme brulee. This is on just Dishy, which is their worsted again. And the colorway was creme brulee. And this is the honeycomb pattern. I thought it was really cool, and I want to do... This might be one of my... Like when I do dishcloths. It's called the Beautiful dishcloth pattern. It's a Tunisian honeycomb stitch. Get it? BB. So that's what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Okay. And this is what mine looks like. It looks just like it.
Yeah, it came out good.
It came out cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this I thought this was really fun. So this is using the Tunisian simple stitch and the Tunisian purl. So I thought that was really cool, and I'm really excited about this one. This is definitely much denser, and you can really tell the difference between dishy and dishy twist. You know, when it's worked up. So this is definitely like stiffer.
You think?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
compared
interesting.
Compared to like this, and it's not as soft.
But I think it softens up once it gets
Yeah, it
wet.
will. It will for sure.
Oh, but yeah, that's quite a bit of a difference. Interesting.
Yeah. So, I mean, you can even feel it. You can even feel it a little bit here, too.
Oh, yeah. I wonder if it's because the white would be undyed.
Undyed.
Because dyeing does change.
Especially maybe dyeing cotton.
I don't know. I know dyeing does can change the way that yarn feels.
Yeah.
So with this being marled with an undyed, that may help the way that it feels. Interesting.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know that I've noticed that, and I
only noticed it when, knitting these back to back. Because when I knit a dishcloth, like, I don't go dishcloth to dishcloth to dishcloth. Like,
right.
I'll knit a dishcloth and then, like, won't knit another one for a while.
Yeah, you probably won't
and
do
so
another
you don't
one
remember.
until next year when the next revolution.
Right. But look how nice. I don't know. I think this is really nice.
It is. You should do more of them. Because that'd be another cool thing to add to our like holiday gift bin.
I know.
And having a bunch
sick
of
of
those
knitting for other people.
That's
or
crochet.
crocheting, whatever. So those were my 5 entries to the Dishcloth Revolution, hosted by the Fiber Hustle fellas, and it was just for fun, no prizes, anything like that. It was just a way to clean it up.
Oops, I have one. So it's gonna.
But this is really pretty epic, I think.
What happened? Here we are. All right. So I knit. Oh, this doesn't tell me the name. This is from Yarnspirations pattern.
Look how fun.
So this is the brick wall, I think is what it's called. Brick wall dishcloth.
Yeah.
It's a free pattern. When we joined Aaron's Zoom on Saturday last week, Susan was knitting this, and I really liked the way that it looked. And Aaron had previously knit one, so I was looking at patterns, and they had 2 of the rows being stockinette, and I didn't want that. Mm-hmm. So Susan was knitting this one, and it was all garter, so I did that. And so this is also living in my chip basket. This is the medium, which I love, and I'm knitting mine out of Dishy Twist and just regular Dishy, but it's interesting because my Dishy feels different than yours. Feel this one. I don't think this green is it feels different than your yellow.
Huh.
Right?
Maybe.
It's a bit softer.
I don't know.
Okay, so back to the chip basket. Can you grab yours? I just want to see something.
Yeah, now that yours is empty, I want you to show. No, it's about the same.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, where's your chip basket?
Here it is.
All right, so what I think is a really cool detail on this is the button. Mine is like gold because it matches the yellow, and you have a silver one. And they're different sizes because the bags are a different size. So I thought that was a really cool detail.
I didn't pick up on that detail.
So yes, so just to go into this
Good detail
further,
there, Chip.
This is quilted, and there's what's that thing called? It's not a batting. It's something. Interfacing. So it uses some interfacing. It's quilted on the outside and the inside of it to give it some really nice structure. And you can fold it if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like it shipped actually flat, and it came really well. And I did not have to do anything to get it to go back to its shape.
Yeah.
All right.
When you order one, they also send you directions, like instructions on how to like fluff it up if you need to, which I thought was really clever.
So I've been working with Dishy Twist Coral, or no, Conch, and Douglas Fir. And this is the dishcloth that I finished. It's much larger than I would typically make a dishcloth. So I'm going to look. I'm sure I have this pattern somewhere in a book and just take one off. Because I really like this. I love the solid.
I do too. It looks so cool.
The marled.
Yeah.
I think it gives it a little depth and dimension. Super easy.
I wonder if this is where Stephen West got his inspiration from for the painting bricks.
I don't know, but this is... I actually am
it's really stretchy.
I would go down a needle size as well. This is knit on a US 8, which is a 5mm. So I'd probably go down to a 7 or a 6 even. I typically knit worsted, I think, on 6s. And if I did that, that might actually help with the length of it. So it's a 12 or a repeat. And you repeat it 6 times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Okay, so then I'm almost done with this one.
Yeah.
And then I'm working on a second one, which I'm almost done with. I started it I think yesterday. So I have 1, 2.
Oh, it's because it's garter. It's so 4. Stretchy.
Yeah, so I'm on my last repeat now, so I'm almost done with this. I'll finish it when we're done.
Like this turns into like a honeycomb. Like
it can if you stretch it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super easy pattern.
Fun.
The link will be down below. The only thing I don't like. So what I will do is I'm going to do this again. Mm-hmm. I'm going to cast on 6 additional stitches, and I'm going to do an I-cord on each side.
That's a great idea.
Just number one, part of it is that I have found that dishcloths or washcloths over time, hand knit ones, they get a little wonky looking. They get a little skewed, but it'll give it a little more structure and it'll hide on this. I mean, I know it's just a dishcloth, but it's going to hide the unevenness, like the mess that's on the ends or the edges. So, so I'll finish this today. That'll be the first thing I do when we're done.
Yeah.
What's this?
What's that?
Oh, this was in the basket too. Remember I had tried that other one and I forgot what pattern I was using? I
do remember that now.
So that is my only FO and that is my first whip.
Cool.
All right.
Grand.
So that means I have 1, 2, 3 more whips. How many whips do you have?
I have 3 more as well.
Okay, so why don't you go now?
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right, I'll stick with crochet. I didn't make much progress. I'm not sure if I should continue showing this. I probably should. I'm just going to.
Yeah, keep doing it. You're working on it.
Yeah, whatever. So this...
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. This is my ripple... I said it wrong last time. I called it a 12-pointed... It is a 12-pointed star, but the name of the pattern is Rainbow Ripple Baby Blanket. 12-pointed star by Celeste Young. Super easy crochet pattern. It's actually a little larger than I expected it to be. I wanted to do this as a rainbow. So we have a couple of babies coming into our lives. Yeah, go ahead. You have something to say? Do you have something to say?
I do, but go ahead.
All right. So I am crocheting this all out of Karen's Simply Soft. And I wanted to do a rainbow, like I said. So I'm almost done with the blue, but I don't have enough to finish. I have to join another ball. So this is what I have so far for this.
That is quite large.
It's quite large.
But you know what?
I still have to do... I have one more... So let's see. You need 5 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm almost done with the blue. And then I'll have to add 1 stripe of this gray.
Yeah.
And then I have the purple still to add.
So if the purple, what if you just do 4 instead of 5?
I mean, I'm committed at this point. I feel like I just should just
What about next time, the next blanket, just do 4 of each stripe?
I could definitely do that. The reason why that there's something that you do differently on that middle stripe there to help pull it together.
Okay.
So I could do that, but it just won't be in the same color. You know what I mean? So like, for example, like it's a free pattern, I think. So here you're knitting or you're crocheting one double crochet, chaining 2, 1 double crochet. And in each of the other 2 rounds, you're doing 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet. And then the third one brings it back down together again. So it's 1 double crochet, 1 chain. It's easier for me to remember in my head when I count it. I'm sure I could do that. This is kind of like autopilot, you know, you just know when to do your, but I think it's really cool looking.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah.
The only other thing I was going to say, like, what would happen if you went down a hook size? You think that, like, that would make it denser?
Yeah.
Would that make it smaller too?
Yeah, it would make it smaller.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm happy with everything. It's just for a baby, a newborn baby, I think this would make a good, like, floor blanket. And then as they grow into it, so I'll just continue. And then what I'll do for the other 2 is I'll just reverse the order. So
you're going to start with purple.
I'll start with the purple and then, you know, go down to the blue and then, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Because for this, I just ran out of the blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I just ran out of the blue and I haven't even finished. Let me see. I haven't finished yet.
So you're going to need more.
Yeah. I might. So let's see. I have to do. So this is the end of the round here where I chained. So I'm going to connect it there. So I have to still crochet all of this. And this is where I ran out. So this is all the blue that I had left. I had no idea. I went to go pull up the extra loop and I'm like, what the heck? Where'd the resistance go?
We could always go to Joann's.
So I have another blue.
Okay.
But I only have 1 more blue.
So you know that you're going to need at least 2
so that's
more.
kind of why I want to reverse it a little bit.
Yeah, I see.
You know what I mean? Because then I might have enough with this yarn to do 2 blankets. I definitely won't have enough to do 3. And I think it depends on where I end up on the second one.
Right.
What colors I want to do. So anyway, the yeah.
I think we have more of that yarn in the closet.
I think we do too. I'm just not sure if we have the same colors, but if
you have a similar red or an orange or something
I
like
know
that.
that I have some like lime green.
Yeah,
like
from the first
limeade
one
or something. Yeah, so I'll have to take a look. But this is what's going to be coming next. This is the purple. It's a very deep purple. It's called Plum Perfect.
Plum Perfect.
Yeah. The other colors, I don't know. Do you want to know?
They are like Kelly Green.
Country Blue is the blue.
Country Blue, Kelly Green.
Uh-huh. I believe it is Kelly Green. Kelly Green. Yeah, good job. Pumpkin is the orange.
Yep.
I think. Yep, pumpkin is the orange. I have a lot of orange left. The gray is
called gray.
Called feathered gray.
Feathered gray.
The red, I believe, is just called red. Color red.
What's the yellow?
And the yellow, I think, is called like sunshine or something like that.
This is sunflower?
It is called sunshine.
Sunshine.
Oh, sunshine day.
Sunshine yellow. What is it? Sunshine daisies.
This is when I first started. I was like, I messed up. Look how red that looks.
Turn this stupid fat rat yellow.
All right, so that is the Yarnspirations Rainbow Ripple Baby Blanket. It's a lot of fun.
Good job.
Thanks. But I've been working on this for a while. I have so many projects that
we all do.
Okay, this is for an August baby, and then we have 2 June babies. So I probably should have started with the June babies first. That's okay. That's all right.
Or why don't you find a different pattern for the June babies? One that's smaller, that's more like for newborn.
But now I have all this.
But yarn. You could still crochet it.
Maybe. I'm using an H hook, 5mm crochet hook.
Okay.
Okay.
So you reminded me of babies.
This is actually in the prototype chip basket.
Yeah, those are good baskets.
They are really good baskets.
Chip has good baskets.
Chip is a good basket.
So speaking of babies, we shared this on our Instagram.
Kevin's pregnant. I'm just kidding.
There's a new book coming out. that is being published by
Good job.
Lina Publishing.
Yeah.
It is called Making Memories, Timeless Children's Knits. It was put together by Claudia Quintanilla, who is the owner of You Knit Toronto. So it's going to have 25 knits for children. The patterns are graded from newborns to 10 years old. And there's things like blankets and sweaters, socks, mittens. So you can pre-order the book now at lineuppublishing.com, and the publication date is going to be May 12th. Here is the cover.
And so they've been posting, follow them on Instagram too, because they've been posting pictures of the models, and they're so adorable with these little kids.
Like, here's one.
Look how cute.
It kind of almost reminds me of, like, no, maybe not. I was going to say, like, Love Note-ish.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Look how beautiful.
Look, and just another simple one. It looks like just some, like, nice little yarn over details in the yoke of that sweater. Here's a color work one. So really, really pretty. Definitely,
really fun. Yeah.
Go and check that out.
So that's Making Memories. We'll be getting that. That's really sweet. Oh my god, I can't even.
Really cute. All right, so
that's one of my whips.
All right, so one of mine is living in my Yarn Creative.
Oh, this is a great
bucket bag. So, I picked it back up, y'all.
Dun dun dun.
Take that out.
Why do you have all these random needles just
hanging? That's not. I just don't have this on the needles right now because I finished this section.
Oh, good job.
So
sorry to be judgy. I'm not.
Yeah, no, you're being judgy.
Judge a lot.
You are. Picked up my twist and turns. Finally made some progress on this. So this was last year's.
Your colors are gorgeous.
Thank you. This was last year's MCal.
Mystery Knit Along.
Yeah. Okay. MCal. Thank you. By Stephen West. This is Twist and Turns. I'm knitting all of mine out of Barnyard Knits. So, Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. Then I did my strip, then I did my striping here, which is stockinette and garter.
Yeah. It's neat because the garter stripes like pop out.
Yes, it's very nice.
Yeah.
So what I did last time I showed this, I realized I made a mistake on this section. On this cable section, when you're binding off, you're supposed to do some decreases in the row beforehand to bring in the cable, which I did not do. Yeah. So I bound off and then looked and realized that they look differently. So I took out my bind off, took out an extra row of knitting, went back, corrected it, then did the bind off again. I had started this strip on the other side and did it incorrectly, so I had ripped it out, and I just decided to go do the strip and do these stripes immediately.
That gold is gorgeous.
And then, thank you. I didn't dye it though. Then I got to about here and I had no stitches. So then I ripped it all out and started again. I was decreasing incorrectly because I didn't read my pattern thoroughly. So
this is going to be lovely. And I'm really glad that you ended up doing this whole section first, and then you'll get back to do this.
Yes.
I just couldn't, like, while I was on that the landing strip, I was like, let me just go.
Yeah, so I just have the landing strip and the stripes to do on this side, and then you pick up along here and finish. So I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
So my colors are Japanese maple, and this is all on her 75-25 fingering weight base.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
so we have Japanese fluffier. Maple. The white is pumpkin latte. And this gold is called, I don't know.
They're very fall colors, which makes sense because that's when you started it.
Yeah. Let's see. Golden leaf. Oh, no, not golden, just gold leaf. So yeah, this is Barnyard Knits. They are a lovely dyer. They like, I could buy everything from their Instagram. I wonder why I have something there. Okay. So, yeah, I'm glad that I've made some progress on it. What I've been trying to do is we were talking about this on Saturday. I have an issue where if I encounter a mistake that I've made.
This is the pattern.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
If I've made a mistake or I have to go back and fix something, sometimes I let my projects linger a little bit.
Yeah.
And they kind of marinate, and I go back to them whenever I'm ready, and sometimes that could be a couple years. But I decided that I really need to get some stuff off of my needles. So, with the exception of one project, everything else was stuff like that I've worked on has been projects that have been on the needles. So
there's a make along going on.
I know.
I can't remember
right?
the name of it.
So yeah, I'm in
spring cleaning.
I'm enjoying it. I do wish so, but when I look at this, right, I see candy cane, ketchup and mustard.
No, I don't.
Candy cane, mustard, and I don't know what this is, but I think it will be nice.
It's gonna be gorgeous. Yeah.
I don't even know. I feel like I might be Where's Waldo. Am I Waldo?
Waldo has...
He has red and white
stripes.
stripes.
Yeah, but brighter red.
I know, it's definitely brighter.
No, you're not Waldo. Put your glasses on, maybe you will be.
I know. And if I make a hat, that's red and white striped.
Yeah, but you're not going to. Though,
if I take Reese's hat that I made her when she was a baby and put that on my head.
Well, there's your Halloween costume. You can be Waldo for Halloween.
Oh, I might do that.
Yeah.
That'd be a good one, actually.
It actually would be.
All right, so that is my twists and turns, and that is knit on a US... I want to say 4? Yeah, US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter.
Nice. Should I go?
Yeah.
Oh. I was really watching you you're struggling with that a lot.
What, with the needles?
Yeah.
No, I make them into a coil so that they don't come apart.
Oh.
If you, put them through, put them through,
Put them through. This is some progress I made on my Dustland sweater. I really wanted to have the body done, but it wasn't in the cards with school and everything like that. So this is the Dustland by Stephen West. We talked about that he has that cardigan coming out. This yarn I am absolutely loving. I actually need to join a new ball. This is Moda by Wool Dreamers US. Living in my Paradise Island bag, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, that's a fantastic bag.
Vogue Knitting, right?
Yes.
So here's the band. I actually need to remind me to take one down when we go downstairs.
Okay.
Moda by Wool Dreamers. It is 100% Lana Merina and Trafina e Manchega. So it's like Manchega wool with like a merino, maybe. It's some leftovers Manchega wool that is usually destroyed, I guess, or not necessarily used in wool production. So this company decided that they wanted to recycle that and to do that. So they did. And the color that I'm using is 526G. It's a beautiful like heathered blue. It's dyed on like a gray base. And I don't know what else to tell you, but it's really lovely. There's 252 yards per 100 gram skein. I did get 6 of them, which I thought was a little bit not enough for a sweater for me, but it might be.
How many have you gone through already?
I think I've gone through this, maybe 4, maybe 3 or 4. I think I've gone through 4.
And you still need to finish the body and 2 sleeves?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I missed this. Are they 100 grams?
Yes.
Okay. You might be fine.
Maybe. So this is what I have left of the other ball. So this is what I did. I'm hoping it doesn't fly off the needles. So this is... Oh, it's going to be so hard to show. I put it on. It fits very well. The collar is not... Right? You said that you saw that the collar was not... People had asked about the collar.
Yeah, somebody had asked
really
about...
big.
Yeah, somebody asked about
but
that.
But it's really not. Let me show you the back because it's a little bit... You can see all the stitches a little bit better from the back. So it's a very textured sweater. I love the yarn because you can see all that stitch definition. It's really cool. And depending on how the light hits it reflects those those dips and valleys and stuff. So you have twisted rib, you have moss stitch, you have a broken rib, which I think broken rib looks really cool. And so it's really those 3 motifs, and then in between each one you have garter stripes and or garter band, whatever. And so I think it looks really cool. I love the color. I think it's gonna look good on me. And yeah,
very nice.
So I have 2 more sections to do to complete the sections, but when I put it on, it says to knit to 2 inches, because the ribbing is 2 inches. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get a full, pattern repeat. Like that, these are the 3 right here.
Yeah, no, for
so
sure. No.
I did 1. I should probably try it on again.
Yes.
And then do the second one. So we'll see. But anyway, I'm really, really excited about this. I think it's going to be very warm. It's a very squishy fabric with this. So it's been nice. It's not one of those easy projects where you're just like, knitting in the round, which sometimes you can get lost in Stockinette City. But I'm kind of craving Stockinette City a little bit.
Yeah.
Which my next project, I'm getting there. So should be okay. But I'm absolutely in love with this. I can't wait for the finished product. Right. I think this is more of a I can't wait for the finished product. Maybe not necessarily like, oh, I love the process.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I am knitting the 47-inch chest because I wanted a lot of positive ease. I got a little bit nervous with the texture and stuff like that. I didn't want it to because I feel like with this you could see all the hills and valleys, of my body. So I wasn't fully comfortable with that. So I wanted a little bit more positive ease. So that's kind of where we were. Oh, so this is where I was last time.
Oh, you made some decent progress.
Yeah, so I definitely, I for sure made some decent progress. There's a lot of stitches on the needle here. Not as much as my next one. But that's that. Okay. So I'm super excited. I'm using the recommended needles, which is a US 7 4.5 millimeter. And I've done everything to pattern except for the collar. The collar I did a cable cast on, 2x2 cable cast on, which usually they're 1x1, but there's a Andrea Mowry video that shows you how to convert that to a 2x2.
Yeah.
And that's what I ended up doing, which is why the collar probably looks a little bit like, funky when it's not on my neck, but when it's on my neck and it like lays flatter, it looks really good.
Yeah, it definitely, it's not as boat necky as you would think by looking at it, because even I had that concern that it was going to be a boat necky for you, but when you put it on, it fit well.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much all I have to say about that.
Okay.
I will definitely use that yarn again.
Yeah.
I really like it a lot. I think it would be really nice in color work.
All right, so I am also working on a sweater that's living in my Le Garçon and Hide and Hammer bag, which I love.
Yeah, I love that too.
So this is the Jensen cardigan, which is in the Moon and Turtle book.
Yeah.
Which, where did my thing go? Okay. Which is released by Pom Pom Magazine, I believe. Oops. All right, come on. There. Oh, stop.
You hear our table squeaky?
Yeah. So this is the Jensen cardigan. It's meant to be worn as a jacket and be really oversized. Mm-hmm. I did not make it as oversized as the pattern recommended. I think it called for 8 to 10 inches of positive ease. I'm knitting mine with 6 inches. So this, I'm in the middle of the row, so it's kind of crappy. But this is another project that I had some issues with my button band. Hold on. All right.
You made a lot of progress.
And I'm inside out.
Are you?
All right. So, yeah. And I'm in the middle of a row. All right. So right now, where the heck am I?
Here.
Let's do this.
This is a sleeve.
All right. Here we go. All right. Now we're good. So here is
the
sweater.
So good.
I'm knitting mine out of Simply, not worsted.
Wool.
Simply Wool by Knit Picks. It's the Aran weight. This is an Aran weight sweater. I am knitting mine out of these 3 colors.
I love the cups.
So, color 1, color 2, and then this is color 3. So this is the body. This is the striping that's in the body, and you can see that in the sleeves if you wouldn't mind showing.
Yeah.
So
there's
not
3 different colors here.
You can't see it all that well, though.
Yeah, you certainly can. I mean, you can definitely see it. It's a lighter contrast.
It is. In person, I feel like you can see it a little bit more.
Sure.
You can
definitely see it there, though.
Yeah, I feel like you can see it on this band much better. Like, I'm only 2 stripe. I only did the second color, but I feel like this is much more noticeable than here. I don't know if it will be when I put the white in. So, what's very interesting about this collar and this button band is you only work a portion of it first. So this is going up to, right? So, and then here's my shoulder seam. So I'm only working the button band to about here.
Yeah.
And then you're going to pick up and work the left side and then the right side at a later point.
It's interesting.
The issue that I ran into is I was supposed to pick up a certain number of stitches, and I wasn't hitting that number if I followed what was in my head for math, and I think I did that wrong as well. And I took my stitch marker out, and it tells you to put a stitch marker in when you're knitting along your edge so you knew where to start picking up. So I took the stitch marker out, I started knitting, I got to wherever the shoulder, and I didn't have enough stitches on my needle. I was like, all right, well, let me pull this out, and then I'll start again and try my math. But then I pulled it out, and I didn't know where I was supposed to pick up again.
Because you had taken out that stitch marker.
Right.
Yeah.
So it sat for a while, and I couldn't figure out how to figure it out. So what I did is I still had a stitch marker on my left side. So from the shoulder seam and the edge, I went down and I counted every 10 rows and put a stitch marker and kept doing that until I got to the one that I had placed there while I was knitting. Then I repeated it on the right side so that it matched. Then I put stitch markers connecting the 2 of them just to make sure that everything was even and it was matching up. And then I went back and picked up my stitches.
Yeah.
So, and this is knit double knit, so it's a little bit more work. There's a lot of stitches on here. There was some yarn overs that were done to double almost the amount of stitches, and I was kind of confused, but you can't see them.
No, and
right?
It made like a thicker fabric almost.
Well, no, that's the double knit here.
Oh, yeah.
But here you can kind of see. Here, let's see. If I stretch it out, you can see the yarn where they were. But it really helps make a really beautiful button band. Really I said to Ray, what I may do is the next time I do socks, I may do a double knit cuff and see how that feels.
Yeah.
Because I think it could be, it's still stretchy and it's ribbing, so it will be kind of tight too. So I might give that a try. The colors that I'm using are Wanda. And this is their Simply Wool Aran weight. So it is just 100% eco wool. Right? I'm using Wordsworth, which is this color. Like a oatmeal-y gray almost. Wordsworth. I think one of them's Wanda.
Yeah, the I don't know, because I have the Wordsworth and Wanda.
I don't know what they are. I actually don't have all the other text. I think this one is Wanda, the white, because that's what I knit my sweater out.
This is Wordsworth and Wanda.
Is this one? So I think this one's Wanda, and then and then this one is I don't know. But it's a really affordable wool.
Yeah.
From Knit Picks.
Oh, for sure. And it makes a really nice fabric. I just bit my tongue.
Yeah, I've I knit a cardigan out of it previously on their worsted weight version,
Yeah.
and it wears incredibly well. It's soft. It doesn't pill much, if at all. It's very little pilling. So if you are looking for an inexpensive yarn that I think is of good quality and that's non-superwash, that's a really good option to try. And I would say on sale, I got it for like $4 or $5 a skein, or maybe $6. So you can get a sweater's quantity of yarn for a really decent price.
I mean, especially for that sweater, because you're probably using a lot more yarn than you normally would, since there's got some double knitting and stuff like that in there.
For sure. And that's knit on a, I want to say a US 8.
Is it really?
I think so, because it's Aran weight.
Oh, yeah.
I know I'm doing a 6 now on the ribbing. So I want to say an 8. A 6 and an 8.
Whatever the recommended ones are, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Okay, you're up.
All right, I have my last whip is living in this beauty. I'm loving these bags. I love this Portland leather. I love the smell of leather. This is the Parish Lines 2.0? Parish Lines Sweater 2.0. This is a test knit for Beth MacDonald Stone. Hopefully, I think if all goes well, it'll be... I think she wants this done by like May-ish, so I've got some time. But here's the sweater. She has the Parish lines, which I showed last time, which is... this is a version that fits more of like a masculine body a little bit better, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. So she asked if we would test knit, or we asked her if we could test knit. She said yes. And so that's what I'm doing. So last time I showed it, I had just cast on and done the collar. I've since finished the collar and just separated for sleeves this morning. The yarns that I'm using, and I'll show you what I have. I actually need to do this too. So I'm using Wool of the Andes worsted as my contrast color. This is
Dove Heather.
Dove Heather. And this is the color here, Dove Heather. I have this much left. I'm going to combine these two and cake it into one bulk. So there's one more section of some color work left. And then I'm also knitting with Holst, super soft, in their slate gray color. We got Koontz, not last year, maybe sometime.
Who knows?
Yeah. My first time using that yarn. The fun thing about this pattern is that it's knit with fingering weight and worsted. So the color work, the contrast color in the color work is worsted weight, which she said it kind of makes the color work pop, and it certainly does. So here's what I have so far.
It's really nice.
It looks cool, right?
Yeah.
It's really bunched up on the needles. So I literally just separated for sleeves, so I wanted to get a little bit more length on it. I probably could use go up
a cord
size, but you can really see it. So here's the fun of the color work. So you've got these like arrows kind of pointing one way, the other way, and then the other way again. The collar is really neat. It's no ribbing. It's just this effect is done with the color work, one by one color work. It's a double collar here.
Okay.
So I did try this on as well, and this fits very well. And this is going to probably be a little bit more fitted, a little bit less ease. I'm knitting the 4th size, which is the 44 inch, I believe it is in the pattern. I could be wrong, but it's the 4th size. And so far the pattern is written very well. I haven't seen any issues with it at all, but I'm loving how the color work really does pop.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Really interesting.
I like it.
Using that worsted. So right now, like I said, since I've separated for sleeves, it's just going to be stockinette for a little while. There are some short rows in the back, so that'll be like up here, which will be nice.
Did you finish those?
Yep, I finished those. You do the short rows first, and then you separate
okay.
for sleeves. So I did that. Did the short rows, and last night I finished the short rows. That was a lot. So you've got to like knit like 160, and then turn, and then knit till 12 stitches before that, and then so like it's a lot of back and forth, and then purling and all that stuff. So
I love short rows, though. I love doing them.
I do too, but it makes it worth it. It took me a while to do. I think there was like 4 or 5 short rows back and forth. It took me 2 episodes of his dark materials to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm really liking it a lot. It's definitely the yarn. The yarn's not very bad to work with. In the beginning, I wasn't used to it. It's pretty. It feels crispy.
Feels like times.
Twine. And what's been happening is that it's been drying out my fingers. This yarn.
Okay.
And making sometimes I'm prone because like when I knit, I sometimes push that needle down, and so when my skin is not like moisturized enough, it makes me prone to like it's not there now. It's fine. But it makes me prone to like poke holes in my skin the drier my skin is. So I just have to remember that I've got to make sure that I keep my hands moisturized when I'm using the yarn because it does tend to dry it out. But the swatch bloomed really nicely. The fabric came out I think really nice when I like washed my little swatch. So I'm hoping, I know that when I do wash this, it's going to bloom and it's going to be like magic. I may have to wash it a few times.
Yeah, people have said washing it a couple times, like using Dawn the first time around because it will help pull out the spinning oils, and you may need to do it a second or third time with Dawn.
And that's what the with this yarn is. It looks very, very thin.
Yeah,
because it's pretty compressed with the spinning oils in there. So once you get rid of those oils, the fibers will plump up a little bit. So the gauge, I'm trying to be as even as possible. I'm not sure if it's going to make a difference or not. I'm just trying not to be super, super tight just because right now the yarn is pretty thin,
Yeah.
But I think it's.
Yeah, I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm making sure like I'm just being even. I'm just being even with my stitches. So you can you can kind of like see through it. It's going to plump up and fill in those gaps and things.
For sure. What size needles in it? And I don't know. I don't recall I don't know if you said it.
I don't think I did. So thank you. So this is knit on a 5, US 5, 3.75 millimeter needle. Oh God.
What?
I hope that's right. Yes, it is. It better be. Can you imagine if I didn't switch my needle size?
If you were supposed to? Oh, you mean after like the collar? Did you not switch your needle size?
I don't know. Oh, US 3 for the collar and cuffs, US 4 for the hem, which I haven't gotten to yet, and a US 5, 3.75 millimeter needles for the yoke body and sleeves. Which is the recommended needles. That's the gauge that I got, more or less. We'll see how it goes.
Okay.
But I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah, it's really nice.
And I like the contrast.
Well, we're so happy that you enjoy the contrast.
I'm really happy that you're happy. Thank you. Let's share the happiness. Did I say how much I love the smell of leather?
I don't know, but do you like the smell of it, or do you love it?
Love it.
Okay.
The yarn has a little unique smell to it. The spinning oils.
Yeah.
In the yarn. Yeah. That is, and that's it. Those are my finished or my.
All right, I have one more.
Okay.
It's actually also living in my Portland leather bag. Yeah. I just took the strap off.
I like the canvas, actually, Kev. That softer canvas.
And I put it in my strap in the pocket.
Oh, that's a clever idea.
So this is a new cast on. Not that I have any business doing this.
I have a new cast on coming up soon, too, today.
So, it's time for a story. So, on Friday.
Story time.
I last week went to pick up every stitch with Kim and Kate. I didn't know if this was going to happen, what I bought, if I was going to buy it. But just in case, I brought a skein of yarn with me that you all might be familiar with if you've been here for a while. This is a skein of Spin Cycle that I attempted to use in my Once in Floral for my flowers that didn't quite go as planned. It wasn't contrasty enough. So I have 4 freaking skeins of this, so I need to find some projects to do. So I had cast on previously using some Mayak Baby Yak. I had tried to cast on the Moon Bump shawl, and it was my fault. I wasn't working out how to
But it
pick up
happened
some
for a
stitches.
reason, right?
So I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just get the yarn that's recommended. So I did. And again, I'm knitting Moon Bumps by Maxim Sear. This is a new pattern. It's like a scarf. I would say more scarfy than shawly, but it's a wrap. It's a Moon Bumps wrap is actually what it's called.
It looks wrappy.
So guys, I didn't know if I was going to do this, but it's Kate's fault. Kate walked over to me wearing a Moon Bumps wrap that was knit at a Fua Fua by Moondrake. And she just broke me down.
I'm sure it took a lot of energy to break you down.
It made me do this.
Yeah.
So, I'm knitting Moon Bumps. I'm using Moondrake Fua Fua.
I have never felt anything like this before in my life.
What's this? Oh, the end. This is out of the colorway Toffee. It is fingering weight. It's 70% brushed cashmere and 30% superwash merino. It is 315 yards and 50 grams.
It is so incredibly soft.
Knit up
and
doesn't
luxurious.
even do it justice. Like, all right, so here we are. There's a lot of ends. So this is my Moon Bumps.
I love the little dashes underneath.
Yeah, I have to actually go back and do these. I haven't done that yet.
Okay.
So.
Oh, because you do that afterwards.
Yeah,
as part of the design.
Yeah, actually in the pattern it has you do this weaving in when you're done with the shawl, but I've just been kind of knitting it as I go. So you use a DK weight and a sport weight, and what that helps with is it helps with any puckering. So I do have some, but once it's blocked, if I stretch this out and block, like, you know, mimic what blocking would do, I don't have any puckering whatsoever. And just,
I know,
just treat yourself.
You have, treat yourself.
It is such a beautiful yarn.
I don't understand how that's possible. I know it's a cashmere. But...
I know. Like, I want,
do you think this is going to pill like crazy?
I don't know. I don't know on my facial hair. That was one of the concerns, but I don't think so because
guys,
Max has facial hair too. So I don't know that he would knit with something that would be pilly on his, from his neck and face.
Should we call him? Can you imagine we just called him now and was like, hey, Max?
So what's really cool about this is
this is
when you're knitting, it's a repeat, a 4-row repeat done 5 times. So it's 20 rows of knitting, and then you do this I-cord bump. The I-cord bump's really cool. I love doing it. Mm-hmm. It took me a minute to get it right, and I did make a mistake here. I think between these two sections, I forgot one of the repeats.
Oh, right.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'll repeat that mistake on this side.
You mean the design element?
Yes. But I have to measure. I think that's going to, I don't know. It may, I don't know. I may only lose an inch in length.
If that, not even. So
I was trying to think, should I maybe just to get that inchish back, because it's 8 rows of knitting when I do it on the other side. Mm-hmm. So 4 and 4. So it'll be 8 rows. I'm thinking maybe I might just add in the straight section. I might just do one additional repeat, and it'll give me maybe like another inch of length than what the pattern calls for. But totally enjoyable to knit. I'm definitely making my ends a little bit too long, I think. So I'm wasting a bunch of yarn, so I might have to think about that. But I do have 4 skeins of
this is definitely a treat yourself.
This is a treat yourself yarn, and
both of them are.
But when Kate walked up to me with that freaking wrap and I felt it, I said, Kate, can't do this to me. I'm going to have to buy it now. I was in between a couple colors. The colors of this are gorgeous. Max, I believe, in his pattern, he is wearing sand, which I almost got sand because it's beautiful. There was a dark green, which we thought might go well with this. But Kate and I were like, no, it's got to be toffee. It has to be toffee. There's a really nice like slate gray one. That's really beautiful. I don't know yet, but I anticipate myself making another one. I'm just saying.
Bold words already.
I'm just saying because
Except you can't use foo again.
Says who?
It's a once in your lifetime purchase.
Such a liar.
Enjoy it now while it lasts.
Yeah, I think there may be another one because it has that more scarfy feel to me.
Yeah.
Which after our live and putting on like the clockwork and the groove, I do enjoy that style of shawl or wrap, which I forgot because I wear my
your large
Vertices Unite, which actually isn't really deep. So I do find that I like those smaller shawls or scarves. They're easier to wear.
Yeah.
Like I love slip extravaganza.
They're easier to wear, like to layer. You know what I mean? Like if you're going to be
under
layering.
a jacket or something. Like the bigger ones are nice on a cold evening or something to give you a little more warmth.
Yeah.
But I do like those thinner, not as deep shawls for under jackets and things like that.
Yeah.
So that is all the whips. So we are moving on to...
That's it.
Owl post. Do we have any?
I don't have any owl post.
I don't think I do either.
Yes, we do.
Oh, I don't. Oh,
we have no idea where this came from.
No idea. So this came to our
If this
P.O.
is you,
box.
please let us know.
Yes. So this was in our P.O. box. There wasn't any notes, so we really have no idea. But this is after our live. We got 2 pictures. Look at this. Isn't it cute?
You be you.
You be you. Ray's wearing a buffalo plaid hat. I have my flower crown on because I did say like real men wear flowers. So there we go. And then we also got a smaller version. So
that was really sweet. So thank you very much. It definitely made us giggle.
I know. We're gonna have to get a frame. You could bring one to work. Leave it at your desk.
Oh my god, that would be great.
The small one. And we'll put the big one behind us somewhere. Then it'll hide some of our stash, and it won't look like we have so much.
We don't have much stash.
We don't. I know. All right. So that was our owl post, and then let's talk about some breaking the bank.
Let's talk about baby.
All right. So let's just go with this. All right. So in addition to these baskets, again, we bought some yarn from Aaron and Chip.
We did.
Got 3 skeins. So I believe I got these 2. And you purchased this one. So the 2 that I got, this is on Aaron's 7525. This is Melancholy
I love it.
And the Infinite Sadness Disc 2. So some of his yarn, which is really freaking fun. Like Aaron's really into music. Like he used to be a rock star and stuff.
He is still a rock star.
He is a rock star. He bases some of his colorways, or they're inspired on albums. So if they are, it's named after the album or something on there. So this is one. I just love all the colors in this and the speckles.
Yeah.
You got some, like yellows. You got this, actually that like red or Cabernet right there's really beautiful. Blue, orange, some black it looks like. Green. It's just really, really freaking beautiful. And then I also got this one. This is called Dusty Sage, which is like, I think these 2 are going to be, they may not go together. They may not be as, they may go. I don't know. But I just love this colorway. So definitely check out fiberhustle.com. I know I did check, and I know that Aaron still has some yarn in the shop. So there's that.
And I've been really wanting to make like solid pair of socks or a tonal pair of socks. I've been making a lot of variegated and self-striping socks, which I'm going to be making some self-striping socks. Shocker. Pretty much like right after this podcast today. Wouldn't it be amazing if I could just finish it today?
Oh my gosh.
But I have schoolwork, alas. So anyway, I wanted something solid or more solid. And I really like thicker, like more like substantial feeling yarn for my socks. And so I really enjoy an 80-20. More so than like a 75-25. Where you prefer the 75-25, I think.
I do just for...
To an 80-20.
I've done 80-20.
Yeah.
I have an 80-20, not me personally. One that I caked up recently.
Yeah.
That I absolutely love because it's either a 3 or 4 ply and it's spun like a 75-25. So it's much rounder and denser.
Yeah. So, I mean, this feels incredibly soft. So this is called Just a Spruce. It's actually coming across a little bit more blue on the screen, but it's really...
Bring it back closer to you. Yeah, that's more true.
This is more true.
It's definitely a green.
Yeah, it's like a grayish green almost. There's like
It's pretty.
Yeah, it's really, really gorgeous. So, yeah, it's definitely coming across...
There it comes across blue, yeah.
Blue, yeah.
And that's why it's so hard to take pictures.
It's so hard to take pictures. I know.
It's funny. The only reason
it also could be different against my blue, maybe.
The only reason I haven't done a shop update is because I'm having a really hard time taking pictures. You're such a jerk.
So yeah, these will be a pair of socks. I'm debating if I want to have contrasts for the toes, and stuff, or if I just want to have like a solid sock.
I see.
Maybe with like a pattern, or just like a ribbing, like 3x1 or something.
If you want contrast, you could even just grab a undyed skein of 80-20.
I could. It would kind of look something like this.
Correct.
But
I
think I might just do solid. So that's what these are going to be, socks, along with my chip basket.
Okay, and then why don't we do this one next?
Yes.
All right, and next up is... Everybody should have received it. If not, we're going to give you 5 seconds to look away. This is the Mysterious C Club by Les Garçons, Max and Vincent. This is on their BFL sock base. This one is called the Mysterious Diver. And then the mini is called Edith's Butler. Edith. That, I wonder if that's... a Downton Abbey reference.
Oh, I don't watch that.
You haven't, but one of the daughters is Edith, and I'm just trying to think of her butler. Okay, what else? So ready?
Anyway, again, here's the inspiration artwork.
So I think we're going to get one based on the jellyfish and then an octopus. That's what I'm thinking. It's just a guess.
Okay.
All right, so.
The extras that they do is out of control.
So here's the enamel pin that comes with it. So diver. Here's the sticker of the diver.
I got one too, of course.
And then here's the skein of yarn with the progress keeper.
It's a fucking... Ooh, my God. It's a freaking starfish.
You are unbelievable.
I was doing so well. Damn it.
Keep going. So beautiful green with some
some beautiful like speckles and stuff in there. It's
orangey
like
speckles in it, which is lovely.
There's more. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's like an orange, like it's almost like a rust color, a rusty orange. Very lightly speckled, done incredibly well.
Their BFL sock is really, really nice.
Yeah, and this is a nice, I would say like a black butler. You know, they wear a black suit.
Don't generalize.
They did. Butlers. Unless you were...
like back then.
Like, yeah, a butler or a footman. You wore a black suit.
We love clubs.
Yep, and then one more.
One more club. And this, we mentioned 2 podcasts ago that Woolens and Nosh is doing her club as well, self-striping sock club. And you could choose either fingering or DK. So we opted for the fingering, and this is the first installment. Now, this has been shown on Instagram. She showed her inspiration picture. Do you want to maybe pull that up?
I'm gonna grab
That'll
that.
be great. And then she also showed how it's knit up, I think.
Yes.
And I love it. And I think the mini is adorable. This is called Butterfly Nebula. And here it is.
It's so pretty.
It's so pretty. And then look at the speckle in the variegated.
You know what it reminds me of? Sprout.
It kind of does remind me of
The mini is kind of sproutish.
Yeah.
So here's the inspiration photo. And here
so good.
is how it knits up.
So look at the little
just the little blips,
Yeah.
like stars in a nebula.
So
smart.
I am casting this on today. I'm gonna skein it up after we're done here. After I pee and have lunch, I'm gonna skein this up, and then I have a special secret sock that this is gonna become. So that's really fun.
Okay.
I'm really excited about this club. I love her yarn so much.
know.
This is on her Targhee base, so it's 90% superwash Targhee, 10% nylon. I have, they're honestly my favorite. It's by far my favorite sock base.
And there's a new collab with her and Denise from Earth Tones Girl for her new colorway. That's called... So the one in October... No, so the one in October was Falling in Love, right?
Yeah.
Hi, phone. There, thank you so much. And this one is called something... It's something along the same, line. It is called...
Oh, yeah.
So This Is Love is the new colorway. And I believe they're available... so they're going to be available for pre-orders today at 10 a.m. Eastern Time.
We're past that point.
We are.
It's 12:30.
So really, really pretty. It has some pinks and browns and a sagey green, it looks like. Maybe not, I'm lying. So pinks, brown, gray, a beige. It's a really pretty colorway.
It is a really pretty colorway.
So what else? And then all we have next is purchases from...
No, there's one more.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
So, a lot of you were very concerned about my safety. I was the proud recipient of a chainsaw. And, I think a lot of you were very concerned that I may hurt myself, and that informed me that there was special garb that one needs in order to cut down said trees with said chainsaw. So I may have purchased some things to keep me safe and ease your mind when I'm out there in the yard. I told Kevin that I am going to be wearing this all the time when I'm cutting the lawn.
Go for it.
When I go and take out the garbage.
Please do so.
So I purchased a hard hat with earmuffs that smash down on my head. I really can't hear hardly anything. I also ended up getting... this has a really fun screen. I got some gloves because it came with the kit as well. And I got some chaps, which are extremely thick.
Yes. Ooh.
Bless you. So, again, thank you all so much for your concern. And you can now sleep well. That's that.
Ooh, excuse me. I know I will.
No idea.
Thank gosh you're protected.
I am.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. And then last we have just some additional purchases I made when we were at Pick Up Every Stitch. So this I saw on
This is really cool.
Knitting Posse. Sue got this for Kim. And I happened to look down and it was there. This is called the Easy Peasy Gauge Ruler. So it's a magnifying.
It's super clever.
Right? Because I don't know about y'all, but especially when you're knitting on fingering weight yarn, it's very hard to see your stitches, especially if you're knitting in a dark color. So this guy, you just throw it up. This probably isn't going to do a good job, and it magnifies it for you.
Yeah, so you can really see, and it's got 1 inch
Yep,
or half
1
an
inch or half inch. So this is a 4-inch gauge ruler. Just thought it was a nice little purchase to have and have it around the house because as we age, our eyes go to crap and we need to be able to see stuff.
Yeah. Super cool.
Yeah, it's a good little notion. So this is from Crazy Cat Designs is the name of the maker. But
really
we did get it from Pick Up Every Stitch.
So then Kevin was really nice because he thought about me, which I loved. We actually purchased these the very first time that we went, the only time that I've been to Pick Up Every Stitch. And I ended up giving mine to my friend Michael because he really wanted one and they didn't have the one that he wanted. So I gave mine away and Kevin got me a new one. This is from Thread and Maple. This is their little Notion set, I believe is what it's called. I'm not 100% sure. It's magnetic. It's got a pair of scissors. It's got darning needles in here. It's got like little pockets on the side. You can put things if you wanted to.
And it has
really sharp, cool pair of scissors. But like, look, it's got that like rainbow metallic.
No, that's just blue.
Blue?
Yeah.
Oh, it kind of looked a little bit rainbow when I was downstairs. Maybe the thing. The
and it has stitch markers in there.
Yeah. So inside this zipper piece are the really nice like metal stitch markers. They're circular. They're round ones.
I actually have my Thread and Maple in with my sweater.
And I think these have the rainbow hue on it, don't they? I thought they were like, unless they're just metal.
No,
they're just metal.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a brushed metal or something. But I love that it's magnetic, and I've actually been using it so much more than even when I had the first one. So
yeah, my go-to, I have 3 go-tos when it comes to that. I have my Thread and Maple.
Yeah.
I have my Acreworks.
Yep.
And I have my Always Queenie Believe.
Yeah, I forgot to bring up Always Queenie Believe.
Those are my 3 go-to Notions pouches, I'll say. Like I have one, like Acreworks is on a shelf by where I normally sit on the couch.
Yeah.
My Always Queenie Believe is in my Roscoe cart. And then my Thread and Maple is currently in my sweater bag.
My Acreworks is always attached to the side of my Roscoe because it's also metallic. Magnetic. This one is sitting just easy reach next to me, and the other one, the Always Queenie Believe is on one of the shelves as well. Yep. So yeah.
Okay. And next.
And then next, because you went on Friday, so we had knit night. So we do our knit night on Thursday night with some friends of ours, and that's the knit night that Jeff started talking about Tunisian crochet.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I'd love to try that, but I didn't have a hook. We were talking about, he was saying like what he used as a hook. So I had asked Kevin like, oh, maybe while you're out, if you can look at it. So he looked for a Tunisian crochet hook. They didn't have single ones, apparently, or so he says.
No, they really didn't. They just had one of those.
So we got the Chaogu Tunisian crochet set, and it's got hook sizes from an E all the way to an N, so that's 3.5 millimeter to a 10 millimeter crochet hook.
So, and for those of you who don't know what Tunisian crochet is so unlike normal crochet, with Tunisian crochet, on one of your passes, you leave all your stitches on a needle and on a cord, so you can attach a cord to this.
So this is what I was using for mine, like Kevin was saying. So as you go through your project and you pick up you go through here, you pick up loops, so you basically have everything on the hook like this. And so depending on how long your project is, you may need longer and longer cords. These are also called Afghan hooks. Tunisian crochet hooks are sometimes called Afghan hooks because you can knit a lot of, or crochet like blankets and longer projects with this style of crocheting. And so you can, they have the connectors for this just like you would are for knitting. Like Kevin was saying, and then the stopper is the same stopper that you find on
it's the same
whatever their
cord.
setup, and you can make it as long as you want to. I actually wish I had a little bit smaller one for the dishcloths because it's not really. I don't really need all of that. And then once everything is on the hook, you go through and you're pulling the yarn through all the hook, all the stitches that are there until you end up with one stitch. That's pretty much the principle of Tunisian crochet. Then you pick up all the hoops again, and you come back. So
you never turn your work like you typically do.
No, you never turn your work. It's all
you're
on
all
one
working
side.
one side.
Yeah, at least that's all I've seen. I'm obviously this is what I've done.
Right.
Simple. Anyway, so we got a Tunisian crochet set from Chaogu, which is nice. It comes with all of everything that you need, and just like your other Chaogu sets, it comes with your needle gauge or your hook gauge, I guess. Gauge ruler, I should say. And then a little baggie full of attachments and then additional cords. And fun fact, you can use the small cords from your knitting set to also work with these hooks. Or vice versa. Which is really cool.
All right. So that is all the knitting content. So now we'll talk about what we have been reading and watching.
Okay.
So I have finished 3 books since we last spoke. The first book I finished was Prodigy by Marie Lu. That is of the Legend series. This series was fantastic. Highly recommend it. It is a young adult fantasy. The 2 main characters are 15 years old. Day, who's male, and then June, female. They live in the Republic of America. So it takes place in the far future. America has split. There has been weather issues. Half of the South is gone. Florida, bye. Louisiana, bye. Georgia, bye. And the Republic of America goes from California to Colorado, and then the rest is called the colonies.
Wow.
And they live very different. They have very different beliefs and systems. In the Republic, which is where book 1 starts, at the age of 10, children are sent to sports stadiums, and they go through a trial where they are given a score, and that score determines where they're going to be placed. So June, when she was 10, she received a 1500, which is a perfect score. She's known as the Prodigy of the Republic. Highly intelligent. Day took it as well, and there's a part of the story actually is around Day and him taking it and what happened. So I won't talk too much about that. But June and Day are highly intelligent kids, and they're involved in this kind of a war within their own republic, and then a national one. And what I really enjoyed about the series is that the first book takes place only in the Republic. So you learn a little bit there, and you have your very rich sectors, people, it's called the Ruby sector. That's where all the wealthy live. You have your poor ones, and you have this kind of in every city. I believe the first book takes place in Los Angeles, areas of Los Angeles. Book number 2 brings the colonies into it. So you travel there for a little bit. You learn a little bit about life, how life is run in the colonies. It's run by corporations, 4 main corporations. So you actually have to pay for the police and pay for blah, 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 blah. And then the last one, Prodigy, it ties everything up really well. it's not your, I want to say it's kind of like a happy ending, but not your typical happy ending. So I highly recommend it. There is a fourth book. I haven't started reading it. I don't know if I will, because it's separate from the trilogy itself. Then I finished reading Gravity by Tal Bauer. That is a male-male romance. The two characters are professional hockey players. They play in the NHL for a team in Montreal, which I won't attempt to pronounce because it's in French, and a lot of the book was in French. Not a lot of it, but there were phrases that were spoken in French. And I tried to read this a couple months ago, and I was like, nope. I don't get any of these hockey references. I don't understand French. Not doing it. But I went back to it. Because I've been trying to read things in my Kindle that I've like bought or borrowed and I haven't read.
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
So read it. I loved it. I always say how like these books remind me of a Hallmark movie where you get to the conflict with about 10 minutes left in a Hallmark movie and then it's wrapped up. I was expecting it from this book, but that didn't happen. The conflict was a little bit different. It wasn't like a fight between the two. It was something happened and you didn't know what the outcome of that was going to be. Enjoyed it. And then the third book I finished is called Wormwood Summer by Kai Butler.
Wait a minute. So in that first book that you...
Prodigy by Marie Lu?
No, the series. What was that? Not 3 books? Oh, that was the third book.
I finished the third
Right. I was like, wait a minute. So the math doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And then
Gotcha.
Wormwood Summer by Kai Butler is a male-male paranormal romance. The main character is a fae. The romantic interest is a cop who is also an alchemist, and I actually really enjoy the magic system in here. So you have witches, alchemists, werewolves, vampires, and fae so far. That's what I know of. Vampires are very different than what you typically see as vampires. Like, they're not as intelligent. They don't really speak, or if they do speak, they have to be very old. The alchemists are more of a controlled witch, so they're more scientific and precise with how they handle magic, and they draw circles with an alchemist marker, so they can draw these very intricate circles, and they could be layered upon each other. They have words written in between the layers, so they could use them for offense or defense. So I thought that was actually really cool. And then witches are more natural, and they can be weak or strong, and then they take power from each other through the coven, so they can use their coven to make their spells stronger. And then fae are your typical fae, right? They are beautiful. They are manipulative. They use obligations and promises and gifts as a way to manipulate people.
Oh.
But that's just
like
how,
tricksters?
No, but that's how fae typically are.
Yeah.
In most books, that's kind of how they're described. Like, they're beautiful, they're magical, but I don't think they can lie. Oh. They can't lie typically. So they're very they use their words very well to get around telling the truth, by telling the truth but not really.
But not really.
And the same thing with in this book with like an obligation or a promise. If they give you something, you are now obligated to do something for them, but you don't know that if you don't know that they're fae. So it's very tricky. And I enjoyed it. As of right now, it's a 7-book series, so I don't know if I'm going to keep going.
7 books is a commitment.
It is. It just reads like another series that I read where the main character was not a fae. He was a witch, but the gods were involved, and I don't remember it. And it was a male-male paranormal romance, and he was dating a werewolf guy. I don't remember. Not Shadow and Bone, but it's something Bones and something.
I'm sure it is.
I don't remember the name.
Books that you read.
Hold on, I'm gonna find it because it's right there on my Kindle. It was actually really good. I enjoyed.
Did you read all of those books?
Yeah, in this series. I don't know if I'll have them because I...
Return.
Oh, here we go.
Returning.
So this was by Soulbound series. That's right.
Did I read that?
No, you didn't. That
I
was
remember
by
you talking
Alice
about that.
Turner.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, Soulbound series was the one I previously read.
Okay.
And now I am reading Ready Player One.
You are?
I am. I bought it forever ago.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. I haven't read it. I really want to.
Is this saying, "Hey, fatty, stand up"?
Yeah,
Yep.
it's saying, "Hey,
Apple.
fatty, stand up."
Rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just started that last night. I don't know. I read for about a half an hour to an hour last night.
I went to bed.
It's already
I went
different.
to sleep really early last night. So you weren't. I don't think you made a decision.
No, I hadn't. By the time you went to sleep,
Yeah.
I didn't even finish.
No, you were
I
still
didn't pick a
looking,
book. But I had it, and I was like, you know what? Let me read something that I bought that I haven't read, and already could tell the difference. But literally, I'm 5% in, and it's different than
the movie.
Yep.
Better or worse? You don't know yet.
I don't.
It's
know
probably
yet.
going to end up being better.
So, people hate the movie. People who've read the book
really?
are not happy with the movie. But you know, like in the movie, it starts off, and the main character Wade is just like has this not love, this fascination with whatever his name is. I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
Right? In his history and knows everything about him and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, the guy who created that game or whatever.
Right. He doesn't come across that way immediately.
Oh.
Like, he doesn't know much about him to begin. Like, when he goes through and reads, like, this, almost like this text that has keys almost to winning the game, we'll say. And their description so far of Oasis is completely different than the way that it's pictured in the book.
Really?
Yeah. So, that's what I've been reading. And
You've been reading a lot.
I have.
I finished 3 books. I was reading, I think last we spoke, I was reading The House Witch, number 1. I finished that. And then I was reading and listening to that at the same time. So I was doing a combination of Audible and Kindle Unlimited. And I found myself, I really highly recommend the series. I think it's very sweet. It's very well done. It's very much easy reading and easy listening to. The narrator for the Audible is great. He's English, British, I think. So like his accent is really fun to listen to, and he does a really good job with the different voices. And I won't spoil anything, but there is one voice that you don't expect to hear, one of the characters you don't expect to like hear from, and you do, and he does the voice, and it's really interesting. I think it's really sweet. The concept is this: there are witches, and there are mages, and then there are our regular folk. So mages and witches can do magic. Witches, their goal is to bring or create that balance, or continue to have that balance between like nature. And they are elemental. So witches have always been just like elemental, so earth, air, fire, water. And mages are people who learn magic. So they're not like born with it or anything like that. They go to like a mage school, they learn about it, and they cast spells by like saying the spells and like using crystals or something like that. I don't know. They didn't go into huge detail, but that's what you can kind of get from that, or what I got from that. And
excuse me.
Anyway, so with the witches, lately over the past couple of generations, there's been, they call them deficient witches, is how they make that terminology. So any witch that's born that's not purely elemental. So some of them are like healers, and that's an offshoot of earth magic. And so somebody who's like a healer, straight healer, and that's all that they can do, like they're considered like a deficient witch.
Like a mutant.
Kind of like a mutant, yeah. I think they use that word mutant or mutated or something like that. Anyway, our main character is what's called a house witch. So he's a deficient witch. His father is the protagonist of the story, and he is a fire witch, and he's a pretty crappy guy. And his mom is a healer, and so he's the offspring of those two. And a house witch is basically somebody who can protect his home. And like the more people that live in his home and the more places that he considers his home, the more powerful he can become. And it's really kind of like a protective thing. But there are some offensive abilities that he, has, like with his shield. He can kind of make things fly or, do different things. I don't want to ruin it because it's really good and
don't
I highly
ruin
recommend
it for us.
So anyway, there's it takes place in a world called Dexteria, and it's kind of Earth-like. I mean, it's Earth basically. Like they have all the same they have like pufferfish and things that we would have here, but there has never been a place like that. Anyway, it's kind of feudal, so there's a king and a queen, and I love it. It was really good. There's a little romance there, but nothing like naughty.
No naughty bits.
No naughty bits. Very sweet, easy reading.
Nice.
It's touted as a humorous romantic book, I guess. It's funny. I was like laughing out loud at some parts. I teared up at some other parts. So I highly recommend that series. So I finished those, and then I'm reading. Right now, I'm reading The House at the End of the World by Dean Koontz. I just started it. I'm reading it on my Kindle. He's got a very interesting writing style. I kind of forgot about his writing style. It's very like descriptive and third person, but like removed third person. I don't know how else to explain it. I don't know. So basically, this woman lives on an island, from what I understand, in an archipelago.
Yeah.
Archipelago.
Okay.
The groupings of like a bunch of different islands in like the sea. So there's like 100 islands or whatever. Anyway, she lives on one with just her house on it. And there's an island that she can see across the way that all of a sudden there's some really interesting activity, like helicopters, and they're dropping deep sea like depth charges to make explosions in the water. Okay. And there's boats going around. She's not really sure what's going on over there. And that's kind of all I know right now. And so it's basically just like her like living on this island and like watching this happen. And I'm assuming that there's going to be some mysteries, like what's in the water, is there something, what was happening on that island,
like a Loch Ness monster,
like who knows, or is that like,
is it the Bermuda Triangle,
what's on the island, is it a prison, is it are they
why
doing
are prisons always on islands?
Because where are the prisoners going to escape to?
The water, just jump.
And then what, they're going to swim? No, it's not like in the movies where you can just swim for 3 miles and after being a prisoner.
Yes sir, they work out.
Maybe.
I don't know.
And then I'm listening to a book called Morgan Is My Name.
No, it's right.
Yeah. And it's another take on the King Arthur. And it's told from her perspective, which I thought was interesting because one of my favorite books is The Mists of Avalon, and that's told from pretty much her perspective as well, but like that female, from that female perspective. It's a little dark. I love the narrator. She's really, really good. But Morgan right now is a child. She's 15 years old. And you learn a little bit like more about the history of Arthur and like where that's all come from. Mm-hmm. So I like it so far. We'll see. I'm not very far into it, so it's gonna be different now because I'm not doing I'm not listening to the same book that I'm reading.
Oh yeah.
So
all right,
I think that's it.
And then watching basketball. We are in the Final Four tonight, so I will be watching that at 9:00 Eastern time.
The UConn men. The women, unfortunately, didn't.
South Carolina women lost last night, too, so I'm kind of okay with that. Now, if I'm rooting women, I'm going to go with Iowa, because Caitlin Clark, I don't like her when UConn plays against them, but she's a phenomenal basketball player. So I would like Iowa to win there. That will be tomorrow, actually. And then tonight, UConn and Miami at 9, and then the other one is like, I don't know, San Diego State maybe, and FDU. let's see. Something like that. Like, I don't know. San Diego State and FAU. Mm-hmm. Florida Atlantic Owls.
Woo-hoo.
So, that will be this evening. We've also been watching The Mandalorian.
Yeah, we're all caught up with The Mandalorian.
Grogu's so cute.
He is so cute. He got cuter.
I can't with him. I love him.
Me too.
And then we are watching the 3rd season of His Dark Materials. We have 2 or 3 episodes left. We're almost done with that. So we'll probably finish that this weekend.
I'm surprised we never read that series. I wonder if it's similar.
I don't know, but I know Max. I don't know if Vincent read it, but Max has and likes it. So it's in the forefront of my mind as one of the next things I should probably read.
Yeah,
because the series is fantastic.
It is, but I feel like I want to understand more of the background stuff. Like so many things happen, and you're just like,
I want to know more. I want the full picture.
Yeah, I want.
I will probably read it.
That's probably better. I want the full picture.
And I believe that's it. Right? We haven't watched any movies. We've been watching podcasts. We were going to try to list some new ones that we've watched, but I forgot to get that together. So I'll do that for next time.
Yeah, we'll do that next time because we've been watching some newer to us podcasts that are not necessarily new podcasts, or at least over the last couple of months, but newer
to us.
Yeah, we haven't had a chance to mention them, so we thought it would be good to be able to do that. So we'll do that next time.
And I think that's it, right?
Let's
look at
I think that's it. So
our personal show notes, our freeform. We talked about all of our patterns. We talked about what we've done. We don't have any giveaways this week.
No.
Went over our winners. Talked about what we've been watching.
We should have one for next time, though.
Yeah. I think that's everything.
So remember, our next podcast is going to be on a Sunday.
Yes.
The next 2 are going to be on Sundays.
The next 2 will be on
Sundays.
Sundays.
Up in New York on the 14th through
and
the 18th or something like that.
12th through the something. And then the 29th is local yarn store day, so we'll be visiting a yarn store that day. And
you had mysterious eyes.
No, I was just saying we're visiting a yarn store on the 29th of April. So our next 2 podcasts will be recording a day later than we normally do.
Yes. I don't have anything to chainsaw down as of right now. The weather's been a little bit wonky, but
it's been a little cool too. I think it's too early to be doing stuff like that anyways until it warms up a little bit.
I think we need to plant grass seed though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you very much for sticking around. It was not a short one. We're over 2 hours. Back to the norms.
Oops.
So we appreciate you sticking around, and we hope that you guys have a good 2 weeks, and we will catch you all in a fortnight.
Bye.
Bye.